Go.
The story of Cinderella, perhaps the best-known fairy tale, is told or read to children of very young ages. But Cinderella is not just one story. More than 500 versions have been found just in Europe. The tale's origins appear to date back to a Chinese story from the 9th century, Yixin. Almost every culture seems to have its own version, and every storyteller his or her tale. Charles Perrault is believed to be the author in the 1690s of our modern 300-year-old Cinderella, the French Cinderella. Most renderings of the story include an evil stepmother and stepsisters, a dead mother, a dead or ineffective father, some sort of gathering such as a ball or festival, mutual attraction with a person of high status, a lost article, and a search that ends with success. Cinderella, despite her popularity, has developed a reputation as a simpering, whimpering girl who is helpless until the right magic comes along. But this is the Cinderella of the later 20th century. The earlier Cinderella, in many of original forms, was not a wishing-only kind of person. She was a self-reliant, devoted to family and ancestors, and willing to make her own fortune. By the way, I'm Georgia Montalvo, and my sister Sophia Montalvo.
Hi, I'm Sophia Montalvo.
And we are going to do a little puppet theater for you of Disney's Cinderella. Enjoy the show. Long ago, in a faraway land, poor Cinderella lived with her mean step-family. They filled her days with cooking, scrubbing, washing, and chores of every kind. Cinderella's stepmother and two stepsisters, Anastasia and Grisella, never helped with her work. But Cinderella remained cheerful and kind. She made friends with all the animals that she met. Cinderella spent the rest of her day attending to chores. Take the ironing, Grisella demanded. Don't forget the mending, Anastasia added. Pick up the laundry and get on with your duties, her stepmother ordered. Meanwhile, at the royal palace, the king complained to the Grand Duke. It's high time my son got married, he sobbed. I want grandchildren. The king decided to hold a ball. If all the eligible maidens come, said the king, the prince is bound to find his bride among them. Later that day, Cinderella heard a knock on the door. Open in the name of the king! Open in the name of the king! Said the royal messenger. He handed Cinderella an invitation. When her stepmother read the invitation aloud, Grisella and Anastasia became excited. Each imagined the prince falling in love with her. Cinderella was also excited. Why, that means I can go too, she said. The stepsisters laughed. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Every other maiden is supposed to attend, answered Cinderella. Surprisingly, her stepmother agreed. I don't see why you can't go. If you get your all your work done, and if you can find something suitable to wear. Cinderella raced to her room and found the dress that belonged to her mother. With a little stitching, she could make it pretty. As Cinderella worked on the dress, her stepmother and stepsister called for her and gave her many chores. Get them done quickly, her stepmother said. All of her animal friends had worked on it while she was gone. They gathered beads and sash that the stepsisters had thrown away. Soon they had created a beautiful gown. Cinderella finally finished her chores and went to her room. Then she realized it was too late to get ready for the ball. She was so sad. Suddenly, the mice yelled, "Surprise!" They showed Cinderella a beautiful gown. "Oh, thank you so much," she cried, and she twirled around in her beautiful new gown. Cinderella put on the gown and hurried to join her stepfamily. But when her jealous stepsisters recognized their old sash and beads, they tore Cinderella's gown to shreds. Cinderella's friends watched sadly as she wept in the garden. "It's no use," she sobbed. "Nothing can help." At that moment, bright sparkling lights began to appear. Poof! Cinderella's fairy godmother appeared. "Dry those tears," she told Cinderella.
Okay, go.
"But I'm not going," said Cinderella. "Of course you are," replied the fairy godmother. She waved her magic wand. Oh, and a regal coach appeared. "Oh, it's beautiful," said Cinderella. The fairy godmother waved her wand again. Jacques and Gus and just two other mice turned into 4 beautiful white horses. Then changed Major the horse into a coach driver. And she turned Bruno the dog into a footman. Next, the fairy godmother turned Cinderella's torn dress into a beautiful gown. In a flash, there was also a tiny glass slippers on her feet. "On the strike of midnight, the spell will be broken," said the fairy godmother. "Everything will be as it was before."